Hey guys, Rian Peterson. Let's have a chat about social media and why 99% of people fail. So, we're a business like you are. And initially, when I started out many moons ago, we tried to do all the social media ourselves. In other words, we did what most businesses out there do: have a little blog post, boost a post, put it in front of 1,000 people, and you might get one deal. You might get 10 people that show interest, but no real action, no automation, so to say, in the social media campaigns. Now, it's probably one of the most underutilized strategies that there are in the world. It's probably one of the most affordable strategies out there that you might find. But it's probably one of the strategies that fail the most. And the reason I say it fails the most is because most people don't understand it. Every business owner has seen some sort of advertising or gone to a little short course in Facebook advertising or LinkedIn advertising and think they're gurus and they can do it themselves now. And they fail. They fail dismally. And the reason they do, and we did that initially as well, is because it takes a very, very specialized skill to do it successfully. And let me explain the process to you, and you might understand. Most of you won't understand the process, and this is why a lot of people, and I would say 95% of businesses, don't utilize social media. And don't get me wrong, it's the only way to get the name out, and it's the only successful way to truly scale your business in 2020. But this is why 95% of people fail. I'm going to give you some stats on one of our campaigns. So initially we did it ourselves, we tried to blog, we tried to do all these things, and then we got partners involved in our business that are specialists. Now these aren't always the younger generation, the millennials, but mostly younger people that understand social media and do social media as a profession. So initially we had an ad running, and I'm going to give you some stats there, and the ad was seen by around, this is over a very short period of time. Our target audience was about 200,000 in the country, okay? And that's because not everyone describes their jobs accurately on a platform such as Facebook. You'd be amazed how many CEOs are out there and business owners and managing directors, but it might be a managing director of a shack. It's possible. You know, this is just the job description. So you got to start wide. You got to go and utilize the search engine in the back end of Facebook, and you got to say, right, here's my target audience. This is what they look like. This is what they read. This is what they're interested in. And there's a list as long as my arm that you can feed into the Facebook backend. And say that list for us was around 200, 300,000 people, but there's only about 2,000 clients out there that we really want to do business with. So you're looking at 200,000 people, potentially 2,000 clients. So up to now, and this is over a couple of weeks, the ad was viewed by 65,000 people. So that's 65,000 people that are potentially our target audience that now know about our business. That previously didn't know about our business, didn't know we existed. Now they know about the business. Of the 65,000 views, there were 150 people that shared the ad with relevant people they thought might be interested in what we do and the problem we solve for companies. There were around 300 likes, but the important aspect here is out of the 65,000 views, relevant people that came to us that said, Rian, I think you can solve my problem. We did 40 calls. So we did 40 inbound calls, people that came to us and to me and to say, let's have a conversation about your business. And those are very targeted calls, people that really and truly need the service in the target audience, and people we can talk business with and not a sales pitch. This is what we can do for you and this is how we can do it for you. So think about it again, 65,000 views, 40 calls. That is the magnitude of social media. So you might have a target audience of 2 million people around the world, but there's potentially only 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people that are in your specific target audience that you can do business with and that you actually want as clients. Because these days, companies become choosy who they want to deal with. You don't want to deal with someone that you can't add value to. But here's another important stat. So out of the 65,000 people that viewed it and the 300 likes and the 40 calls, 200 people signed up for our newsletter. In other words, those are 200 people that are interested in, we did a video ad where I told people what the problem is we solve, watched the video ad and said, I think you could solve my problem, but not now. I don't want to talk to you right now. I might talk to you in the near future, or even in a year's time or 3 months' time, but I'm going to sign up for your newsletter and keep contact. Those are people you need to warm up. In other words, they don't trust you yet. So you need to add more value. But that's out of, and these are not very big budgets that we're putting into the ads, but it's structured in such a way that you've got a wide audience, you narrow them down, you qualify them through either video or webinar or interaction. You do calls with X amount of people on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, and 200 people signed up for the newsletter. So these are 200 potential clients that are still going to book the call, which we do what we refer to as remarketing, to say, okay, hang on a second, you watched the video. Maybe it's time to book a call. Here's a little bit more information about the program we offer. And this is how we do it. So we give more information, and through giving more information, you build more credibility. Now imagine this. Imagine you run this for 6 months in your business, and you reach 200,000 people. And you've got an extra 500 people that are reading your monthly newsletter, that are interested in what you're saying, because otherwise they wouldn't give you the information. Name, email address, telephone numbers, etc., etc. Why would they give it to you if they're not interested? The other thing is, you'd probably then manage about 160 or 200 calls over a 3-month period with potential clients that watched either your ad or your video or your webinar and said, I like what you're doing. In what other advertising medium can you accomplish that? The point I want to make today is, yes, this is great, but 99% of companies fail because, number one, they don't know how to do it professionally. Number two, they give up before it starts really working in their business. And number three, they fall back to things that used to work and that they're comfortable with, but doesn't work in this marketplace anymore, because they just don't have the patience to implement a system that can automatically grow their business and scale their business 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. And this is why you will get the big shot gurus from around the world that are signing up 1,000 clients and making $1 million a month and R1 million a month as consultants and coaches and advisors and companies. And it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. As long as you deliver a service that is valuable, that solves a problem for people, this is the strategy you need to implement. But what you need to get right is, you can't go on a short course for social media and think you are the guru. I did it for 5 years, and I failed for 5 years, and it never worked until we passed it over to our professionals within the organization. And then we saw what it really entails, what is the back end of making it work. And once you get it right, the ultimate that happens in your business is you have new conversations with targeted clients that really want to talk to you on a daily basis. And they come to you, and out of that, you should close 40 to 60% of them, because they've gone through a pre-qualification process of various steps and funnels that you implement. But then people reach out to you, they're ready to talk business, and all you need to do is discuss the nitty-gritties and where to sign and how the program really fits in. And this is the power of social media. I wanted to share it with you guys today, because I think there's a tendency out there in the market that social media doesn't work. But it doesn't work because every single person that I know try it themselves. They try and cut costs, shortcuts, and there's no shortcut in this. There's a certain structure you need to follow on the various platforms. But when you do that, it multiplies, and people start coming to you on a daily and a weekly basis, and your sales teams don't need to go out and do these things like cold calling and spam emailing and door knocking and all this stuff, or sitting waiting for referrals from clients. So whatever you do, make sure you appoint either a professional team that knows what they're doing, or either in-house or external, and ensure that you allow enough time for you to implement the strategy. Because if you don't, you'll fail and you'll refer to social media as a failure. I thought I would share that with you guys today because we went through the same thing. For me, it was an awakening to see how it works and that it really works. But you need to implement it in the right way. Cheers, guys.